And we welcome you to Blues Game Day Live alongside Joe Vitale, Darren Pang. We're at the Mills, the Blues practice facility. Little concert there last night, and the Blues back on the ice. Well-deserved break yesterday, Joe, and you know what that's like on a winning run like they're on right now, winning 10 games in a row, winning like they're winning on the road. But yesterday, I'm sure felt good for them. They got plenty of jump here this morning in preparation for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight.
Yes, they earned a break yesterday, and Craig Berube, for whatever reason, this game lately with the schedule it's been, they're showing up and they're just playing games. They're not worried about practice right now. They got the rhythm, they got the flow going. Let's keep it rocking.
Are you impressed with their execution, even though they're not on the ice very much?
Yeah, I am. I really am. I think that it's a team that when you go to these runs, and I've been in a few, I'm sure you've been in a few as a player, not really much is being said in the locker room. I think a lot of players like, what's the game plan? I mean, I don't know if there's much. You show up and you got that rhythm. You don't say too much. You just go out there and you keep kind of going. It's one of those things where I don't think at this point you need to be practicing much. It's about conserving the energy, conserving those legs, and they're throwing it all out there on the ice for the game time.
You're impressed with the game in Minnesota. I know we didn't do that on Fox Sports Midwest. It was a nationally broadcast game, but you carried the torch on the radio side.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was a pretty convincing win.
It was. I mean, without a doubt, the Blues just came out and they just smothered them right from the get-go. There was nothing going, and I feel bad saying this, but in the third period, I was a little bored, actually.
Yeah.
I would have loved a little bit of more pushback, but the Blues, to credit to them, it's the style they're playing. They're shutting everything down defensively. They're shutting down the superstars of every team they're playing right now. They're getting great goaltending. The goal scorers are scoring. The power play was clicking in Minnesota as well. I mean, really, there's really no weak links in that game.
Okay, that's a perfect segue that you just gave me about shutting down star players.
We're going to need that.
Tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs come into this game 36-19-3, 75 points. It looks like they're destined for a matchup against the Boston Bruins in that 2-3 hole, no matter how it turns out with Tampa Bay running away with that division. You've got John Tavares. You've got Mitch Marner. Then you've got, obviously, you're sitting there in the number 2 hole. And that's pretty darn good as well. And then in the number 3 hole, you got Kadri.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be a real tough ride here tonight against Toronto.
It's going to be tough through the middle. Austin Matthews, the other one there, right through the middle there. It's a tough skill. There's a lot of players up front who have a lot of firepower, superstars, big names in this league. They figure out ways to score goals. Mitch Marner, I think he may be one of the best passers in the league. Tavares right now scoring all kinds of goals. You got Kadri. And don't forget Morgan Riley on the back end. I think maybe, I don't know about you, but maybe the best offensive defenseman in the game right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The one area that they haven't identified yet is that right side defenseman. They've only got one of them, and that's Zaitsev. But they've got a couple of lefties playing the right side, including veteran Ron Hainsey that's played really well for Mike Babcock. And then they bring in Jake Muzzin. Blues fans are familiar with Muzzin. He came over from the Los Angeles Kings. So maybe they can exploit the fact that they got the lefties on the right side. Off the boards, the Blues have been awfully good in the board game, and an area that is as much improved on as any aspect of the game is their board battles. I'm not surprised with Craig Berube probably putting a lot of emphasis on that inside the locker room. You win the battle, boys. You win the hockey game, and they're doing a great job of that.
Yeah, they are. It's the little things. It's the things that Craig Berube and Mike Van Ryn and Steve Ott, the coaches on this team, they prided their whole careers on doing the little things like that. And I think that's a wall play, battle in front, boxing out in your defensive side. All those little details of the game the Blues have been doing very well.
So it's hard to believe Jordan Binnington wasn't in one of the top. Are you okay? And he seemed like he was okay.
Yeah, he was. He looked great in that game, and you surely got a little bit worried. Whenever you go into the boards like that, high ankle sprains, and we've had our fair share in our careers. Those are the ones that kind of continue to nag. They never really get better until the summertime. We were really hoping it wasn't that. He looked good in that game. Him and Ryan O'Reilly on the power play. They're just zipping it back and forth, and one goal apiece for each of them. He's been so much fun to watch. You see the smile on his face. You see the competitiveness in him. Just getting engaged in games. And he was Oliver Ekman-Larsson. We were sticking into each other in the one game. Then in Minnesota, him and Stahl were going at it. You love seeing that compete out of one of your best players on the team.
You remember earlier in the year in training camp when Mike Yeo as the head coach and Craig Berube as the associate coach, I mean, they really worked on O'Reilly and Tarasenko. They really wanted that to work, and Jaden Schwartz was on the left side, and they're trying every which way but Friday, and it didn't click for whatever reason. And now it's like, I mean, they were born to play together.
They were, and I think Braden Shen has a lot to do with that.
I agree with that.
I know you're high on him right now as well. Braden Shen, He's got the legs now. He's not playing center anymore. He's being disciplined in the D zone. He's being patient. But when it's time to go, he goes. Yeah. And he's been hard on the forecheck. You watch tonight. He's always the first one on the forecheck. He's the one engaging in battles. Then you got Ryan O'Reilly coming in there. He's going to win every battle. You know that. Yeah. And then Tarasenko, he's kind of hiding in the weeds again in the slot, who finds a little opening, and boom, boom. It's working really well. Those three are just humming along.
And that's one of the keys when I was talking about a left-handed defenseman playing the right side. You know, they'll go up against the left winger. So you've got Jaden Schwartz that's been bullish on the boards as well, and Braden Shen as well. And Zach Sanford's obviously done a great job in all four lines. But that's where I think this game, you push pucks to that side and you see if you can't create a defenseman turning the wrong way and maybe capitalize on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a great point, too, especially with the speed and how fast the Blues are playing up on that wing right there. I think you use the speed, you use the reach, and make them turn around. That's another thing that a lot of these guys on this team will not want to do tonight. You know, I was talking to a lot of defensemen over the weekend versus Minnesota and the Arizona Coyotes. I tell them the Blues style is you chip it in, you got to turn around and go get it. And every defenseman, here we go. You know, no one wants to do that.
Fun, yeah.
The Blues got to do it.
Congratulations, obviously, to Alexander Steen and Josephine with their baby girl. Everybody's doing terrific. Noelle is her name, and we welcome her to the world. The team that drafted Alexander Steen, the Toronto Maple Leafs, he'll play against them tonight. Looks like he's back in the lineup based on what they're doing out there. Wouldn't it be nice to score a goal and have that puck against the Toronto Maple Leafs for Alexander Steen for his baby girl?
Oh, wouldn't that be something special?
He'll have some jump, won't he?
We've seen it so much. He's got a little extra legs in him. I don't know if he's getting as much sleep, but he's going to have the hockey legs, hopefully. But, you know, he's going to be playing with so much adrenaline here tonight. His baby girl is going to be watching probably for the first time, so you sure hope to have something special happen tonight.
Another note for tonight's game, and it's going to be on KMOX nationally. It's on NBC Sports Network. John Kelly and I have the night off. But the 5-on-5, I think it's going to be a great battle there. The Toronto Maple Leafs are pretty darn good 5-on-5 in their numbers. The Blues, by the way, an ending nugget for us. In somewhere around late November, they were a -19 goals, 4 goals against 5-on-5. They turned that around now to +15. So that says an awful lot about the way they're playing. And I look forward to this game tonight. It's going to be a great game between the Toronto Maple Leafs and, of course, the St. Louis Blues. And you'll have that 6:30, the pregame show. Joe Vitale and Chris Kerber will call the daylights out of this game this evening. And, again, it won't be on Fox Sports Midwest. It'll be on NBC Sports Network here locally in St. Louis. Great ratings on Sunday nationally, by the way. St. Louis fans, you did yourselves proud once again. They're on board, and everybody's having a fun time, big fella. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Let's keep her going.
Okay, sounds good. For Joe Vitale, I'm Darren Pang. Enjoy your day, everybody.